Hello everyone, Mark here, Mark's Max Muscle, and the topic for today is glutes, the buttocks. That's right guys, we are going to take a look at some of the best glutes in bodybuilding history. This was actually a fan request. You guys wanted to see this one several times. I put it in the fan requested Friday lineup poll, whatever, but yes, you guys really wanted to see this one, so I will give you my opinion on who had the best glutes in bodybuilding history. But you know me, I always go back in the dawn of time, things of that nature, but they really didn't hit the scene until Rich Gaspari's time. And Rich Gaspari, I'm sure a lot of you guys would say, oh, he was the first one with striated glutes. I would beg to differ. Have a look at this dude. This is Bill Grant, and there's not a whole lot of footage of this guy. And the pictures that you can find usually have a front double, things of that nature. But take a look at this picture from the 1976 Mr. Olympia. That is Bill right there. Now tell me if I'm wrong. Blurry old picture, but I do detect some striated glutes. And that's in the mid-70s. Come on, you gotta give him some credit. Well, maybe that's not that much evidence. But take a look at this guy here. Boyer Coe. He also competed in the 70s. I think he competed as far back as the 1960s. But take a look, if you will, at Boyer Coe in 1980. Now, what would you call that? I call that I call that 4 striations. That is a striated glute. And look at Arnold, old soggy donk compared to Boyer Coe. But anyway, my point being, Rich Gaspari, definitely not the first guy with striated glutes on that Olympia stage. And there was more. Tom Platz, obviously known for those quads, but what is that big thing behind there? That is the top of his glutes. Tom Platz, I'm here to tell you, had a badonk-o-donk, a badonk-a-donk. So not only was his glutes striated, but he had some of the biggest glutes out there. I mean, look at Frank Zane. It's just a little whiffle, probably would blow in the wind like 2 little pieces of ham. And I don't even think he's flexing them there. They didn't really flex their glutes. Take a look at Tom Platz here in like 85, I believe it is, and he is flexing them, eating those tights compared to Samir Banu and Sergio Oliva. It's not even the same sport, but ultimately at this point in time, I honestly don't think that they were rewarding such things as striated glutes. Was not until Rich Gaspari, like we began with Rich Gaspari, and I guess he did compete up as early as 1985, and he was getting some good placings. He was rock hard everywhere, but those glutes, they were really a lot different than everybody else. I mean, look at this. Look at this. This is striated for a modern day competitor. So you're going from soggy donk to this. That is pretty incredible. So Rich Gaspari definitely deserves more than a mention in this video. More than likely the first runner-up at the Olympia with striated glutes. Here's Mike Christain. Bet you didn't think you were going to see this cat. But judging by those striations in them glutes, definitely deserves a mention. Now this dude, Phil Hill, maybe not as striated as the other guys, but man, did he have some huge genetics for glutes. Now that is gluteus maximus to its maximum. As you got into the mass monster era, the 1990s, everybody had striated glutes. I mean, even Flex Wheeler, known for maybe kind of the more the softer side of glutes. And even he was much more striated than your average bodybuilder in the 1980s. And ask for Shawn Ray, I say he was above average for the time, and as far as glutes are concerned. Was he the best? No, not even close. This man here had the best glutes in the 1990s. Hamdullah Aykutlu, and he probably had the lowest body fat percentage of any bodybuilder of all time. Look at this guy. You hear the term, not an ounce of fat on him? Look at this dude. You could put him in 3 wind tunnels. Nothing would move, not even skin. He is that conditioned. I believe this side-by-side comparison with Hamdullah and Mohamed Makaway really shows the importance of having striated glutes. Not only were these glutes striated for Hamdullah Aykutlu, but he had some size back there too. So at the end of the day, This man probably had some of the best glutes of all time in the history of bodybuilding. As we entered the 2000s, the early 2000s, it was still somewhat important to have striated glutes, I think. Ronnie Coleman still had them, but when you look at Kevin Levrone and Chris Cormier, they were placing second and third. So, was it that important anymore? Well, Coleman was the only one with them, and he did win. He did win. Now, in 2003, the following year, Ronnie Coleman hit the scene with twice the size back there in those gluteus maximuses. It looked like a great big butterfly buttocks. And not only was his butt twice as large as it ever was, this is large and in charge, but it was twice as peeled. Look at it. It looks like a big alien face. It's an alien face. But more than that, Jar Jar Biggs, for goodness sakes, with a hair lip or some crazy thing. But anyway, yes, Ronnie King Coleman, there has never been glutes this big, this striated. Hamdullah, give him a run for his money in striations, but man, oh man, this has never been surpassed. After Ronnie, I guess Branch Warren more than likely would have the title of best glutes in the IFBB. You can see them peeking out of the side there. Here's a shot of the glutes. Nice straight on shot of the glutes. Very impressive. But after seeing Ronnie, kind of takes the impact away. There was definitely some events, some situations where, yes, it did make a difference in Branch Warren's career. Considering a guy like Dennis Wolf, it was definitely his weak point. Here's Phil Heath and Kai Green, two guys that deserve a mention in this video, although I will say, I think Branch Warren had them both beat. So, were these guys ever the best for their time? Phil more striated, Kai Green, wow, did he have a big old badonkadonk. So, take your pick. You want the more size or the more striations? I will say, you could make a nice little highlight reel just with the buttocksimeus of Kai Green. Very impressive. And also Phil Heath. Look at him here. Drier than a popcorn fart was Phil Heath and those glutes. William Bonac deserves a mention. His glutes kind of resemble a monster truck tire, cut in half. You know what I mean? Here's Lucas Osladell. Look at the size of his badonkadonk. And just full of ridges. If you're not familiar with this guy, go look up some videos of him. He makes his glutes dance. I don't want to show any video footage, but it is very impressive. Now, in terms of your current lineup, I would suggest that Derek Lunsford has the best set of glutes out there in the IFBB right now. And if you're wondering if it does matter for the judging, things of that nature, well, Derek's first, Hattie's second, Samson's third, and I have that exact same scoring for their glutes. You guys? Oh. And here's Derek and Hattie, close up. And there's a lot of people arguing, saying Hattie should have won. Well, take a look. Clearly, you can see the more striated glutes belong to Derek Lunsford. So I guess at the end of the day, yes, it does make a difference. But I don't care if you're Derek Lunsford, Dave Palumbo, who also had good glutes. I don't care who you are. Nobody had more impressive glutes than the king. Yeah, buddy. Ding, ding, ding. Seems like he has so many titles in bodybuilding. Ronnie the King Coleman. Best glutes of all time. With, honestly, guys, honorable mention to Hamdullah Aykutlu. Look at that. Still, just as striated. But Coleman is king. Not only striations, but Jar Jar Biggs eyeballs, things of that nature. You guys wanted it, and here it is, the best glutes in bodybuilding history. Have a great one.